Hello, Rana.
Hi.
Hi. I know you're from Southern California right now. So, again, thank you so much for coming out to our show. This show is just for Korean American community and worldwide, not only in Korea, but also all the subscribers live in all those places like Germany, South America, Japan, Korea, France. So, as a representative of Korean and second generation in the States, financially, I'm trying to give you some uh, financial information on what's happening in the stock market in order for you to grow your wealth over time. So that's the purpose of this show. So I know they have about 3 to 4 different questions in this regard. So you can go ahead and introduce shortly,
Mm,
briefly about what you're doing, what you are to our subscribers.
Great. So my name is Rana Lee. I'm 27-year-old female. I live in Orange County, California. I just recently graduated from PA school and just yesterday became board certified PA.
Uh-huh.
So I'll be starting that soon, entering the job force. And then, so I just found out about this through my parents who are watching your channel. So I'm honored to be able to ask you some questions regarding investment and finance and stocks.
Yeah, you know, I'm I'm very excited about your new job. Congratulations, and your parents must be very excited about your passing the
Yes,
exam.
they are.
Yeah.
Hopefully, so I can bring them some income too.
Oh, yeah. What a yeah. It's gonna um, it's gonna be happening soon. So so wait a
hmm
few more weeks, get a job. So
Yeah.
so give me the first question that you have. And then,
Okay, so just generally, like, what would you say is the biggest mistake that you see, like, the younger generations making in regards to their investments and finance?
the first mistake that I did when I was in 20, I didn't have much money and I didn't have much time. I only just work hard, work hard. Especially in the Korean community, work hard. Diligence is one of the things that your parents must do, and it's come from generation to generation. You work so hard every single day. You miss a chance to make your wealth grow by making investment in the stock market. That's one of the worst mistake I did in our 20s.
Okay, yeah,
So
that makes sense.
I started making investment mid 30s. It wasn't
hmm
too late because I realized that there are plenty of people having a chance to make investment in the stock market, even after 40s, even 50s. So that's the part reason why I'm start this show to let them know that earlier investment make you a lot wealthier person.
Okay,
That's my mistake, first one.
okay.
Since I was so poor when I was in 20s, I studied my master's. I did my master's. I start making money. I spent a lot more money than I earned because we have a lot of stuff, that I purchased like a car, and so I one of the things that I would say I regret is that buying a car is on a lawn. That was my mistake. So I wouldn't do
Oh,
that
okay.
the second time. For 20, you start making a money. You start, in other words, making revenue. You start making revenue, then you are so excited, you're gonna get your first car on the
Mm-hmm.
loan. Say you got like a $25,000 car, you down pay 20%, you laid out to 5 to 6 years. every single year, day, month on a monthly basis you spend on it, and on top of it you have insurance, and you have gas, you have maintenance issues, all together. All the expenses you spend on a car is really overwhelmingly sometimes more than you may think. So instead of buying a car, I would rather put the money aside and start making investment. Even one or two stock per month would be making a huge difference in after 10, even 20 years. That's my two
Okay.
mistake I made in my 20s. I'm sharing
Okay.
brutally honest with you. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
So then I guess starting with stocks, you said that just buying one or two stocks. What would you say is like the most reliable, unbiased, best like news outlet to obtain information about specific stocks? Primarily for like new investors like me, just I don't know anything about stocks or like which
Yeah,
companies, you
then
know?
yeah, I know.
Is it like
Mhm,
websites,
mhm.
TV news, or YouTube?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's a great question. It's a question that you have to ask me first. That's right. But I have to ask you this question first. Why? Why would you like to invest into stock market? You have to answer the question first.
hmm
Can you tell me why would you like to make investment?
Because I want my money to grow without doing work.
Yeah. So every
Simple answer.
stock investment needs a or two uh, goals for your life, for your future. So it must be very specific. In other words, um, before you make an investment in the stock market, you better make your own specifically goals. In within what years, what would you like to be, and what money would you like to take? So with that money, what would you like to do? Things like that. So without those objectives and goals, even if you make a good investment, you're gonna end up spending the money eventually as the money grows. Eventually, you have a lot of things happen in the whole 9 yard in your career that you're gonna meet your boyfriend, get married, have kids, buy a house, buy cars, move around, whatever is gonna happen. All the activities in this society, because we live in a capitalism country, you're gonna end up spending a whole lot of money there. So you have to pre-plan what the purpose of the investment first in order uh, to to make the money grow without any um, um, you know the possibility to spend in purse, I would say, spending. So do you know what I mean?
Yes, yes, yeah, that makes sense.
So make your own goal. Should I why should I make an investment into money? It's just like simply you say, try to make more money. That's not the right answer. So this is making investment into stock market and financial industry is part of your life, major
hmm
life, for your careers, for your life. So financial success is a huge um, thing that you would want to achieve in your life, so that
hmm
planning must be a priority before you make investment. It doesn't matter how much, it doesn't matter how often and where. That question is a secondary or maybe tertiary. The most important thing that you have to consider is that why would you like to make investment? How long? For what?
hmm
Yeah,
Yeah, and
that
that's
makes sense.
definitely,
Yeah,
yeah, factored in.
yeah.
So, like, where would you get the best research for, about stocks? Like, I know a lot of people say news, but a lot of the news can be biased
Yeah.
depending on different hedge funds who are
No, I would
providing the
do.
information.
Yeah, that's a good question. I would do. You open an account with 3 or 4 major institutional platforms, such as
Okay.
Merrill Lynch account. You open a Merrill Lynch account, or um, Fidelity, or any brokerage firm that minimize the fees. That we call it self-directed. You do your own stuff, and then once you open an account and have a little cash in it, you make a security investment. They provide you free analysis on a company that you hold, the stock you hold. So you start from there, because all the analytical tool they have is very professional, time consuming, and then by the people who have experience in that industry. So you have access to the information, that you learn a lot about the company,
Okay.
the stock that you hold. So that's the first thing I would do. So open an account,
Okay.
even if it's a small account. It doesn't matter, $1,000, $10,000, and then you have your own stock you prefer, S&P 500, any stock that you might like, then start from there. Then you're learning. There's a learning curve on your investment experience, career. So the more you experience with those brokerage firm, then you more better decision you would make. So you're less
Okay.
likely to make a huge mistake. And don't invest into the stocks and the companies that just went to public. I would rather go to value stocks, which is large cap or more, and that have some strong fundamental, which is cash flow, your strong cash flow, and a very good balance sheet and income statement. In other words, and the company that generate the revenue over time, and the revenue is growing over time, you most likely not making a lot of mistakes. So that's how I want to start from.
Okay. It sounds good. Thank you.
No problem. Anytime. Any questions?
Yeah, so I actually just ran by like my older sister. She just had a baby, and they were actually wondering like what would be like a healthy like financial mix between the 401ks, the Roth IRA, stocks, and etc. for young parents.
Yeah, that has a lot of different financial tools and accounts. So, 401k, as you got a job, apparently sooner than later, you get a job. You just write on a contract that your company or hospitals, whatever, provides you a 401k retirement plan, which that usually the match is 50-50. You contributed every month, every check, salary you receive, that, and 3%. The company matches 3%, which is going to be 6%. And there's a fund selections. We call it fund selections. That by default, you don't make a selections. The companies the funded into target day, which is 99% of chances it will be 100% bond. Only that generate only 1 to 3% per year right now. I wouldn't recommend a bond purchase right now because of
Okay.
the zero interest rate, and that you buy growth fund. There's goals of that 401k plan. Then the fund selection. There are many different categories and industries and sectors. I would rather go large cap growth stock or fund. So you have to specifically mark on large cap growth because you're 28 years old, very young lady. You have a time horizon until you retire at least 40 years down the road. You grow your fund by making selection into stocks. Which stock? Large cap stocks. Which goal? Growth. That's what I recommend.
Okay.
So you maximize earlier because you're single and you're 20s, you get a job, a very decent job. Your tax bracket is way up here. 35% tax rate, your bracket, in your bracket. You have to maximize the pre-tax investment into 401k and RA account. You have to maximize your RA in order to minimize your tax bracket, your tax rate. You got it?
Okay.
That
That makes
saves
sense.
lots of money. You know, every single day you see the little difference. As time goes by, it'll grow significantly large amount over 10 years, 20 years. Now you start 10,000 over 10 years, 20 years, your 401k become $100,000, $200,000, even $500,000, even $1,000,000, even before 40 years old. You think you're 40
Okay.
years old? No, they're still young. Do you think 50 years old is old? No, you're still young. If you're 40 years, you got $1,000,000 of 401k. You have a freedom. You know,
Oh.
in your lifetime, any moment, in any stage, as your career goes up and up and up, so there's a time. There are gonna be time that you're sick and tired of your job, and you get away from your job and have some little vacation or 1 or 2 years old. If you don't have enough money to support your freedom, you're in trouble. So younger millionaire, that's the reason why you're 28 years old, you need the financial freedom. You can be free financially even before 40s if you start making investment now. Earlier is the better, much better. Please.
Okay. So how much would you recommend in terms of like percentage wise, like savings versus
No.
investments?
Let's put this way. Okay, you
Mm-hmm.
decide how much money you make
Mm.
investment per month. Then rest of money you can spend. The people are making mistake by making planning. This is how much I will spend. Then rest of money I put aside for the savings and investment. That's the wrong way. The other way. This is something that I want to investment. Then any discretionary income you make investment. Any discretionary, I put that way. I don't see any. I don't know how much money you're gonna make, but you need
Mm-hmm.
a discretionary, which means you balance your budget. Okay, you spend $1,000 per month. You're making $2,000 a month, for example. $1,000 is the discretionary income that must be invested.
Okay.
Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Last question.
Last question. So in terms of stocks, like what is a good percentage of like a low risk and a high risk stock for like a portfolio? Like how much, I don't know, I guess since it's younger, like it's kind of appropriate to go a little bit riskier versus if I was starting way later down the line.
Good questions. Good questions. Like I said, you set your own goals, financial goals
Mm-hmm.
first. 10 years. Okay, 10 years from now, I'm making this much money, and five
Mm-hmm.
years from now, I'm making this much money. And with that money, I want to grow more, and I just want to grow my money, and then I will do buying a house, for example, like that. The goal must be very specific,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't have to plan 10 years, but you have to plan 1 or 2 years, short term. Shorter term is a better term because nobody knows what's going to happen 10 years from now. But earlier, and then you have to reset the goal after you review. Your goal is reliable and realistically planned after 1 years from now. Got it? Then you just realign with your goals and your reality, so that you can feel much better. You can feel comfortable making an investment and into that horizon. Let's put it that way, because you are 28 years in generally speaking.
27.
Yeah, okay. Generally speaking, if you're 27, you're not taking low risks. You're taking at least moderate risks. Low risk means you're buying a bond.
Okay.
Moderate risk, because your nature of your business, your character is your risk avoider. Am I right? You don't want to make
Yes.
you don't want to take too much risk. In that case, you have to have at least 60% value stock, and 30% growth, large cap stock, and 10% cash.
Okay.
Got it? So that it'll give you a little push, boosters, but you have more volatility, but still you don't have to worry about short term, at least 5 to 6 years down the road. So it'll grow. Even we have correction and down the road, don't worry about it. Keep making investment.
Okay. That sounds good. Yeah.
All right, Rana, I think that's any question to me personally? Any Uncle David?
No, not at the moment.
Not that
But I
long?
definitely will have some coming up along the lines.
Okay,
in the
hopefully
near
I can
future, so.
see you guys in September this month. I want to treat you guys next time. I really
let us
appreciate
know
it.
when you
all
come
right?
down and visit.
I on behalf of my son, Juwan, he said, I really appreciate. I want to meet with you. I want to treat you, because I give him a lot of money when he graduates. So he has some money that he can treat you guys.
Oh, that's great.
Again, thanks so much for your
Yeah,
time.
no problem.
Okay?
Yeah, I wish you the best. Thank you so much.
Me too. Okay. Talk to you later, Rana.
Okay, bye.
Bye bye.